The Garden That Wouldn't Grow. A gentle story about patience, waiting, and small beginnings. Behind a little white cottage with ivy climbing the fence, there was a tiny garden patch surrounded by smooth stones. And in that garden patch, a little mouse named Clara planted seeds. Every morning, Clara hurried outside with her little red watering can. She watered the soil carefully. Then she waited, and waited, and waited. But nothing happened. No tiny sprouts, no green leaves, no flowers, only plain, brown dirt. Clara sighed. "I think my garden forgot how to grow," she whispered sadly. Nearby, her grandfather sat beneath the large shade tree, stripping long pieces of bark from hickory branches. His weathered hands moved slowly and carefully as he wove little baskets together. Clara loved watching him work. "What are the baskets for?" she asked. Grandfather smiled with a crooked grin. "For the fruits and flowers from your garden, of course." Clara looked back at the bare patches of dirt and sighed. "But nothing is growing." Grandfather gently weaved another strip of hickory bark into the basket. "Not yet," he said. "Sometimes the most important growing happens where we cannot see it yet." Clara looked back at the dirt. It still looked exactly the same. That evening, rain tapped softly against the cottage windows. Clara sat curled beneath a blanket, watching droplets slide down the glass. "I wish growing was faster," she murmured. Grandfather chuckled softly. "Yes," he said, "most of us do." The next morning, Clara checked the garden again. Still nothing. The morning after that, nothing again. Clara's shoulders drooped lower and lower each day. Then one golden afternoon, Grandfather invited Clara on a walk through the meadow behind the cottage. They walked slowly beneath swaying grasses while butterflies floated through the warm air. Grandfather pointed toward the tall hickory trees at the edge of the hill. "Do you know," he said, "those trees began as tiny seeds too." Clara blinked. "They did?" Grandfather nodded. For a long while, no one could see their roots growing deep beneath the ground. But deep roots help strong trees stand through wind and storms. Clara thought quietly about that. Deep roots. That night before bed, she peeked out the window toward her little garden patch. And for the very first time, she wondered if maybe something beautiful was growing underneath the soil after all. The next morning, Clara ran outside barefoot through the dew-covered grass. She knelt beside the garden, and there, poking up through the dark earth, was the tiniest little green sprout. Clara gasped. "It grew!" Grandfather stepped onto the porch, smiling warmly. "Yes," he said softly, "and it was growing long before you could see it." Clara smiled down at the tiny sprout swaying gently in the morning breeze, and somehow waiting no longer felt quite so hard, because now she understood. Good things take time to grow.